some hyena. Think you do. You jump right up here. Bless. Come on. Amen. Hey, folks. This is Sunday. Sunday fun day with Terrietime. And I'm going to have a story time and some hyena predictions. And let me see if she feels like giving everybody blessings. You want to bless, honey? I think you do. You jump right up here. Bless. Come on. Amen. Amen. There you go. Everybody's getting a blessing. Everybody is getting a 2-foot blessing on a Sunday from a real psychic. And the first thing she is a psychic about is this asinine idea of a celebrity boxing match. It's not going to happen. The only half-ass celebrity that could be involved would be Pizza, because the rest of you New York City mob guys are not important to anybody but each other. I was born in Geneva, New York, and I'm embarrassed of that because New York City has dragged the whole state into the gutter. I came to Texas with New York State plates, and I couldn't wait to get them off of my car. You people are only legends in your own mind. And to sit there and hear grown men argue about being from New York City is a joke. I would be denying it with every fiber of my being. I wouldn't want any part of that stupid city. And they've almost ruined the whole state. Not quite, but close. I happened to grew up. I was born in Geneva, New York. I grew up in Tioga County, Pennsylvania, right on the border with Steuben, New York. And we used to wear shirts that said, "Shoot a Flatlander, keep Pennsylvania beautiful." And you know who they were talking about? You New York City stupid people. You're a joke. Nobody cares about being Italian. Nobody cares about the mob or the mafia. It's old fucking news, and nobody cares. So wake up. So good luck with your little celebrity deal, because there's only one thing people can't stand worse than New Yorkers, and that's vegetarians. So bad vegan is not going to be a good name to go with. You got that? Also, pull stick. You're getting bad information from your inside friend, Lauren. She doesn't have any new information on anybody. The shit you're getting is old stuff from old days and the bottom feeders. Get you a new undercover friend. And FBS, you need to wake up. Pool Stick is definitely friends with Lauren. You can either hide your eyes like you do about everything else, or wake up and smell the coffee. Lauren and the Pool Stick are in contact with each other. They definitely are in contact with each other. Have been, will be. And I don't know why he's scared of her, because she went out with when she got exposed, everybody in the bottom feeders knows exactly what she is and who she is. Everybody. So go ahead and get your information from a has-been. Go ahead and do that. You know who I get my information from? Deborah Silver. You know who I get my information from? My real estate dude. The dude I pay with Monica Lewinsky's. That's who you people need to be getting your info from, is a real estate guy. That's where I got Scamber's information. I didn't get the witches from the real estate guy because she gave herself up because stupidly she runs her mouth too much. And she ran her mouth about the resort. And I said, surely that's not the resort over here by me, but guess what it was. But you get a real estate guy in your hand, you can find out where everybody is. Try it, Pool Stick. You might get some good information instead of that half-ass shit you're getting from Lauren. Now, hillbillies, redneck, Trump, dirty. These pills are for you. 'Cause I was born a hillbilly. I love me some rednecks and Trump. Go Trump. Nobody, I do these pre-records because I don't like putting up with real people asking me a bunch of stupid questions. This way I don't have to answer them. Subscribe to Rolex and Race Cars channel, to Dana Smith's channel, to Johnny Mac's Animal channel. And Hyena is still giving blessings out. And I know, honey, I know you that. You would have a better draw if you put Hyena on that celebrity thing of yours. Or even me, because I am the head queen of Grand Saline and have been for a long time. Because you're not going to get... Anybody pays to see that stupid shit is dumb enough to pay it. You people all bragging about being from New... I'm from New York City. I was born in... Who cares? The only people that care are you little midgets. And you're all short. All you Italians are too short for me. Too short. And if you mention New York City one more time, you're too dumb for me to fool with. New York City doesn't mean anything to anybody. It's done. The days of bragging about New York City are over, people. Wake up. Wake up. And if you say you're from California, that doesn't mean nothing either. That's instantly going to bring disdain upon you. Disdain. So go ahead and keep fighting. I was from New York till I was 6. I was from there. Who cares? I don't even bring it up to people. I was so glad when I got rid of those New York State plates and made people finally forget with my wonderful gifts of sex stardom that they didn't care where I was from. I made it on my own. They did not care. And let me tell you something. If you do overdose on some drugs here in Texas, you know what's going to happen to you? You're not going to be driven to an emergency room. You're going to be left wherever the fuck you are. And if somebody finds you, they find you. And if they don't, they don't. Just a word of warning. Don't come to Texas with your drug problems. Because you'll be on your own. And, Manny, look at this. Deborah Silver. I still have my wonderful purse. Are you going to beg me for this one? Like you did my Louis Vuitton? Huh? Deborah Silver, I have your real estate post on your house. Oh, yes. Real estate people are way better than these jokes that the pool stick is using for info. That is a joke. I told all you people a long time ago, get your real estate agent. But I don't know if any of you can do a Monica. But I'm sure Pullstick can do a Monica Lewinsky. Maybe not as good as me, but he should be. He did 22 years, supposedly, and I don't really believe it, in the pen, in the Fed, so I'm sure he's very, very good at Monica Lewinsky's. Not as good as me, but he's probably good enough to get a real estate man in his pocket. Somebody that can really get you the info, really get you the addresses, really get you the phone numbers. Try it. And now I'm going to do a story time. One that I started the other day on my food review. And this, I'm going to go out of order here. I was never married to this dude. He was just the last one that I happened. If you want to say go steady, I don't go steady with nobody. I zip and zap and I'm always up for grabs. That's the way I am. But this person showed up about 2 days after I got rid of the dude that was living with me. Wanting to be all helpful and shit, and I didn't care because he was married. I thought, well, this is safe. There's no way he's going to want to move in because he can't, because he's married. Well, I was wrong. He was on parole for some shit, I don't remember, but he had to breathe into one of them things 4 times a day. He knew how to beat it. I'm not going to tell you, but he knew how to beat that stupid thing because there was not one day that I knew him that he wasn't high on drugs and drunk. Both. I looked up his criminal record. He was a real criminal. Now, not some little drunk driving, dope pushing guy. He had real crimes, real assaults, a dangerous guy, been in jail in at least 17 states. So I knew sort of what I was dealing with. Well, we rocked on for about a year, rode Harley. He fucked around with my ex, which I enjoyed immensely. And then one day, and I have guns everywhere in this house. Everywhere. And he wouldn't let me get him off with my famous Monica. So I had to do everything, and that really pissed me off. Because I don't like kissing or really getting touched or anything like that. So he kept hinting around that if I didn't let him know something by May, and that was a year, that he was going, I'm not going to tell you his name, it's JB, but I'm not going to tell you what his real name is. So we were sitting at my kitchen table one day, and I knew the guy could twist. I knew the guy could twist off quick. And so we're sitting at the kitchen table, and he says, You're either going to be my last love or my first M. That's what he said. And I said, oh my fucking God, what am I going to do? I had no gun within my reach. None. I was sitting there across from this dude that I knew could be violent in a second. My butcher block knife thing was right behind him. I had just got done watching an episode of Snapped, and it happened to be a stabbing episode. And I could just see him grabbing one of them knives and stabbing me, and my dog's licking my blood up, and that was the way I was going to die. I finally met somebody that, was going to, a lot of them have tried, but this guy was going to do it. I was scared to death. No guns. So let this be a warning. If you have guns in your house, keep them with you where you can use them. Don't leave them in the bedroom or the living room or somewhere when you got a dude in the kitchen sitting with you. Have one right there. In fact, if you have to hold it on them, hold it on them. Because that was a mistake I will never make again. Never. And I thought, this is it, Terry. This is it. You are going to be gone. Well, for some reason, he leaned over at me, and then he kind of calmed down, and I took that chance to get out of that kitchen and get where I had a gun. And he went outside, and he started crying a little bit, and he said, well, I really blah, 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 like they all say. That don't mean nothing. And so he left. And I thought, oh, my God, I will never do that again. If I ever have a showdown with somebody again, I'm going to have a gun where I can put my hands on it. Don't do you any good to have 80-something guns and you can't get your hands on any of them when you need them. I've even went to the door. I knock on the door when I first moved into this house, on the front door. I went to the door without my gun, like a fool, and this girl was standing there crying, can I use your phone, can I use your phone? Well, I seen a car sitting out by the road, and I said, no, you ain't using my phone. And I slammed the door in her face. But if I'd had my gun with me, I wouldn't have been scared. So keep them with you if you're going to have them. Keep them where you can use them. Anyway, this dude, he left. I heard from him every now and then on Facebook. He drove by. I could hear his bike drive by, and he'd pull in to see the dogs through the gate, blah, blah, blah. So one day, I think it was in June, around Father's Day, he calls me. He's in North Carolina, where he had a son and daughter. He said, I rode out here for Father's Day, and I really want to see you when I come back. Could I come by and see you? And I said, no, I guess so, okay. Well, then I didn't hear from him again till, I can't remember, I think it was the 1st of August, and my daughter was here. And he said he wanted to come by, and I said, well, yeah, you can come by because my daughter was here. He came in, acted real nice, met my daughter, and blah, 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 talk. He said, I will be back. If you don't care, I'll come back tomorrow or the next day at 11 o'clock. I said, okay, whatever, just let me know ahead of time. So he goes, and the next thing I know, my wonderful Nancy, who is in New Mexico with her grandson and doing great, that I talk to every day. So don't worry, B, I know where my Nancy is. So she says, my wonderful Nancy sent me this damn mugshot of JB. Murder. No details, no nothing. Wanted for murder. But they had caught him here in Texas in Edgewood. Well, he had called me several times and said his bike was broke down. Because I knew it was taking him a long time to get here from North Carolina. So anyway, I had my boy toy. I won't name him either. He lived in Edgewood, so he went down to the police station and talked to him. Said, what'd you pick up JB? He knew him, too. He said, what'd you pick up JB for? Oh, he's wanted for murder in Alabama or one of them states. But he couldn't find out any details. He couldn't find out who the victim was. He couldn't find out what he'd done, but he did find out. And then I got the actual mugshot of JB in Van Zandt County when they picked him up. So I'm wondering, who did this fucker kill? I knew he was capable of doing it. Well, I can't find out anymore, but I did get a call from a prison in Virginia, and it was him. And I didn't answer it. In fact, I blocked it because I got one convict, and believe me, that's enough to fool with. Just one. Kevin is enough. In fact, Kevin and me had a little breakup. This is kind of new story time stuff. So we had a little breakup. He hung up on me. I think it was Thursday. He said, I ain't ready for this, blah, 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 and he hung up. Well, it pissed me off, so I took my fucking phone off the hook, my landline. That's what he calls me on usually. I called my daughter, Patsy Gale, and some other people and said, if you want to call me on my home phone, it's off the hook, because I'm pissed. I don't know if I'm ever going to talk to Kevin again or not. So I left it off the hook, and then I left and went where I go on the weekends. It's nobody's business. And he blew my cell phone up. That fucker was blowing my cell phone up. He had to have called me 18 times in 10 minutes, it seemed like. Well, in the meantime, I'm talking to my true love. We're doing our little thing that we do once a week. Our little sexting thing. And so he said, who's that calling? Who's that keeps calling? I said, that's Kevy. That's Kevin. I'm not talking to him. He said, well, talk to me like you do Kevin, baby. And I did, and it worked. It worked beautifully. And we were married. Now, remember this, we were married for 6 years, but he's still my true love, and we hook up virtual at least once a week. So the way I talked to Kevy worked on him perfect. And well, anyway, I didn't answer my phone, and didn't answer my phone, and didn't answer my phone. Well, I put my phone back on the hook, but I watched the Derby yesterday, and a horse named Merge won it, who was grandfather was Curling, and his great-grandfather was Big Brown. But I kind of went sour on the horse racing because they're doping them with something. They had 4 horses die for no reason of heart attacks. Does that sound familiar, people? They need to get somebody like Lance Armstrong's to dope them horses because they're not doing it right and they're getting caught. So I didn't have my heart in the Derby because 4 of those horses got scratched, the main ones, the favorites. So this horse named Merge won. But I do like its pedigree. But I've kind of went sour on horse racing because I know there's a lot of doping going on. I don't think they should be running those 3-year-olds with dope in them. I really don't. If people do dope, that's their business. They know what they're doing. Those horses don't have a choice, and I'm an animal advocate. So I may really have to quit watching horse racing, and I hate to because I love it. But if they're killing these horses when they're 3 years old, doping them up, I don't have no use for it. I don't care about watching it. So anyway, Merge won the horse race, won the Derby. And I can't remember what the girl's name that won the Kentucky Oak. But anyway, I was watching it. To make a long story short, I was watching the race. My daughter calls me. We always pick a horse for the Derby. So her and I picked a horse. Both our horses lost. And while I had the phone back on the hook to talk to my daughter, Kevin calls. I think, do I really want to talk to him or fuck him off till Monday? Let him wonder what's going on till Monday. But I picked it up. He said, what are you doing? I said, hey, you think it's funny to hang up on me? Guess what? I hung up on you, and I was going to let you hang up until Monday. And if you do that shit again, I'm going to block the goddamn jail number, and I'll never talk to you again. You ain't hanging up on me because you got a fucking headache. That's no excuse to hang up on me. You could have said, you could have not even called me if your headache was so bad that you couldn't talk to me. He said, yeah, I know. He started being nice, and I heard that accent and that voice, so I forgave him. But he's treading on thin ice, people. I do not tolerate that. If you don't want to talk to me, don't call me. Don't call me and then whine about a headache and then hang up. He's done that once before. He's hung up on me once before, but I wasn't sure because sometimes that phone in the prison just goes off. So I wasn't sure, but I was sure this time because he said, oh no, we're not going down this road or some shit like that, and he hung it up. So I left him. I didn't speak to him. He was off Friday. That don't sound like real long, but anyway, Thursday I think is when I took the phone off the hook. Friday was when I was talking to my true love, and he was blowing my phone up, my cell phone, because I left my landline off until actually Saturday when my daughter called about the Derby, and Sharon, and Patsy Gale. I told them, call me on my cell phone, because I got my landline off because I'm going to make Kevin wonder what happened to me. So he was all lovey-dovey, acting friendly again. And Minnie, just so you don't forget, here's my new purse. It's beautiful. It goes with every one of my outfits. Look how beautiful it is. Minnie, 560, the biggest backstabber. I'm so happy to see you in FBS's room, backstabbing him in that B cartoon, taking over the mob wives, mob feeders. Should be called mob feeders because they're all bottom feeders. They all dox, whether they have the right information or not, doesn't matter. Whether you've talked about their family or not, it doesn't matter. They'll still dox you because I've never talked about Pullstick's family. Not one time. And he couldn't dox me because my shit's out there. You'd have to be an imbecile not to know where I live and what I do. That fool will go after women no matter what, whether they've talked about his stupid family or not. Nobody cares. And if you don't get off this New York kick and this mob kick, I got news for you. Nobody cares except you little group of New Yorkers, 3 or 4, however the fuck many there are of you. I certainly wouldn't be bragging about it to anybody. I'm the only one that has anything to brag because Hyena is telling you right here and now there is not going to be any celebrity boxing match. It's not going to happen. Period. Not going to happen. You have the wrong docs on Brittany. It's wrong because you got it from Lauren and she doesn't have the new address. Get yourself a real estate guy, Pullstick. Get yourself a real estate guy, FBS. Get somebody that knows something. Try that. How do you think I found out everything about Deborah Silver? Huh? How do you think I found out everything about Scamber? Really? You are so stupid that you're going by hearsay and a has-been beat up, kicked out of the bottom feeders. Lauren, that's who you're going by? And actually, FBS, if you really, really, really hated Lauren like you said you did, you would kick SoFlo out so damn fast that Pullstick wouldn't have time to beat another woman up. Because he has been in bed with that bitch since day one. Hyena. That's another news break from Hyena, but I kind of figured it out myself. If you want to watch a good channel, it doesn't even have as much bitching as I do, Rolex and race cars. And he's fine looking at that. I wish he'd take that avatar off. And Johnny Mac's got an animal channel. Dana has a ghost channel that's fabulous. So you need to check those channels out if you want to catch something new. And I'm going to do a food review Tuesday of another place here in Grand Saline I totally forgot about, Dan's Dairy Bar. Not sure what kind of food they got, but I'm definitely going to do another food review. The Durkeyverse is not doing too good because Durkey is clean now and he's not putting out no new content. He finally smartened up. Good for you, Durkey. And the more you criticize hillbillies and rednecks, the more you're going to need them, you New York City people, when the shit hits the fan and there's no food in the grocery stores unless Trump gets elected or another conservative gets elected. You're going to be wishing them hill people were on your side because they're not going to suffer. They're going to have food just like I'm going to have food. And you're all going to be starving and fighting and doing your little stupid shit that you do up there that doesn't amount to nothing. Nobody cares. Do you realize how small Mob Wives is? You have any idea how small it really is? And then the bottom feeders is not much better. It's the same group of women that have been arguing and fighting for 4 years. They've never changed. They don't gain any new people. They keep staying right there in the gutter and fighting with each other. The only reason they found MobTube is because of your wonderful Lauren and MRE. You had them for that. Thank them for that because I'd have never found them on my own. I found them through Lauren. And then I took stupid Deborah Silver, Minnie, over there. And I see she's right up in the chats. Oh, she's getting a bunch of information and spreading it everywhere. And the bad part about it, half the shit she gets don't have a bit of truth in it. I don't know where she gets it from. From the getting place, I guess. Drinking my vitamin drink. Anyway, JB is in prison for murder. And I haven't found out who. And I don't really care. I'm just glad I just don't know what saved me from the day in the kitchen when I had no gun. And I also pulled a gun on number 5, the 1%er, CJ. He was in the bathroom. And I walked in there with a gun and I pointed it right at him. He said, "You better pull that trigger, bitch, or I'm going to give you a pistol whipping like you ain't never had in your life." Well, I couldn't pull the trigger. He beat me pretty bad with the gun. And so this is another thing. If you pull a gun on somebody, you better be prepared to shoot it. Don't just act like a big shot and walk in there like you're going to do something if you're not. But we're friends now, sort of. He calls me. Says he throws his other women in my faces. He's got some young chick now that's real jealous of him. That was number 5. And number 6 is in Georgia, living off an inheritance that his mom gave him, but he's the one that had the stroke. Can't even talk to me on the phone because I can't understand him. Me and Kevy are still, but he's getting out in August. And he thinks he's going to come here to get parole, but I got news for him. I'm not putting up with no parole shit. I told him that in the beginning. I'm not doing it. Been through it too many times. It never works. The people can't do it. I don't want to go through it. If he can't be free and not have any paper on him, he don't need to be here. He needs to be right where he is. And he's going to be calling and doing another interview. And I'm going to have him talk about the Whitey Bulger stuff. Because he actually has pictures of him and them guys together. He was in there when all that went down. So he has some interesting prison stories to tell. Unlike Poolstick, who has never told a prison story. Don't you find that funny? Because if he did do 22 years, he would have definitely something to talk about. He wouldn't be clean and beautiful and girly with no tattoos or nothing. He was a punk. He was a punk. That's why he won't talk about it. Nobody's really dug up the goods on him. The closest I seen to anybody digging up his prison record was Chicago. And he found 11 years, and that's it. So something ain't squared up with the pool stick just right. He ain't coming nowhere. Don't worry, ladies. If he happens to get the right docs, he's not going to do nothing. Everybody knows where I live. I wish one of them flunkies would show up at my house. Any of them. I don't care which ones want to try it. Come on to Texas and show up at my house. Flunkies, do it. Do it and then talk about it. Because you're all pitiful. Pitiful, pitiful, pitiful. And the bottom feeders fit right in with you. Because you're cop calling, doxing, kids showing pictures, family showing pictures, pieces of humanity that don't have any character, no morals, nothing. Nothing. All you have is each other to bitch and talk about. That's it. That's it. You don't have no story times. I know if Poolstick had some good prison stories, he'd be telling them because those prison channels are huge, people. They're huge. I can't wait till Kevin can start telling his stories because he's already told me some stuff I can't believe. And he was only in federal prison for 10 years. So something's not upright with the pool stick. He don't have any he's trying to be a goddamn preacher or something now, and that was the biggest joke I ever heard in my life. What a joke. He beat a woman. He's worthless. Talks about people that aren't even talking about him at all. He is the worst of the mob wives. The worst. The lowest rung of the ladder. Pizza's even ahead of him. Even though Pizza's a dog abuser, he's ahead of the pool stick. He's more interesting to listen to. And at least he did actually sit on a street in New York City. That pool stick ain't never been out of Florida. What's he talking about? He don't know nothing. I've got relatives in Florida. I wouldn't take the state if they gave it to me. It was a decent state, but it's getting ruined by all the New Yorkers moving down there and ruining it. So anyway, I'm going to get off of here. Have a wonderful Sunday, and Minnie, eat your heart out. You'll never get your hands on this purse. I don't care how much you beg me and tell me you will never get this purse. Never, 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 never. This is my purse forever. And I'm not going to let up on you because, believe it or not, Deborah, my real estate man's got some more stuff on you for me to share. So don't think you're off the hook just because I don't talk about you for a couple days. I've got shit coming for you, girl. I have got shit coming, and you better come up with a real answer to where that purse is, because you didn't give it to no friend. You sold it, probably. Because you got fired, and then you probably sold it. Well, just say you sold it. Quit making up lies. I can't stand a damn liar. Admit what you did, say you sold it, and say you're sorry, and it'll end this. Until you come up with an honest answer, I'm going to keep finding stuff and keep finding stuff. You hear me? Because I'm not like the pull stick and all them people that threaten shit. I actually do it. Hyena gave you a blessing. I'm going to get off of here now and probably watch some Unsolved Mysteries or something entertaining, because I'm so sick. I don't even get anything from my informants anymore. In fact, they actually are starting to want unemployment because they're not finding any information for me. They find me a little stuff, but it's never about me. It's about Johnny Mac or Rolex or that Mike Slick, who I don't even know nothing about. People that I don't care about. They're on their own. They can take care of themselves. And they do a very fine job of it, by the way. So, ciao, people. And don't brag about being from New York. It's embarrassing. It is so embarrassing. Lee Cole, I'm so glad to be watching your shows, and you did a wonderful, wonderful. I hated it because I had to actually watch fucking FBS, who I haven't watched in months. I had to actually go watch him because you were on there. And it was pathetic, him saying it. I never said about that Trump. You did too, FBS. You said it every show. That's why I got mad at you originally. Because you're a condescending idiot. No matter, every time you say that, you don't know, because the people in your chat are idiots. That's obvious, or they wouldn't be giving you money and hanging with you. That's obvious that they're idiots, but any real new audience that you could get are not going to come in there and listen to you talk condescending to people. And I'm going to shut this show down if I don't get some money. Nobody does that. Not the biggest grifters I ever watched. City was a big grifter. A lot of the bottom feeders are grifters. I've never heard any of them say, I'm going to shut this show down if I don't get some money. And your memberships are a crock. All memberships are a crock, by the way. All of them. Because I've been in some huge channels and paid $40 a month and didn't get a damn thing out of it. You just stopping a show and then putting on... How dumb are your damn people? How dumb can they possibly be? They have got to be the stupidest people on YouTube. They have got to be, to think that your memberships are worth a dime. If you're going to have a membership... If I had memberships, and I'm not going to because I don't care, I would do some nude stuff or something they couldn't see anywhere else. I wouldn't be putting some show, I'm going to shut this down. I need money for Kevin's books. I'm going to shut this show down if I don't get some. You're stupid. You're pathetic. And the fact that there's anybody that's loyal to you is, I can't even imagine it, how stupid they must be. They have to be dumber than you. Because you're at least smart enough to run this con on them, and some of them actually believe it. You're friends with the pull stick. He's friends with your arch enemy, Lauren. And you don't even know it. Or you know it and you're scared. I don't know what you're scared of him for. What's he going to do? Have a celebrity boxing match? Please. So anyway, have a good Sunday. And I will talk to you soon. Tuesday, Dan's Dairy Bar, food review. Ciao.